Four Seasons Hotel. He had this wonderful laptop with him and showed me all the beautiful graphics, talked me through what he intended for the film. And I realized I wasn't looking at the graphics, I was hardly listening to what he was saying. I just thought, this is a really unique guy. He's strong, he's passionate, he's a great leader, and he has a very broad intelligence and imagination. So his map of the book is what I took as my map of the character and the world that we inhabited. I know that Gavin struggled to adapt the book to the screen because the novel, by definition, is an internal process, and what we have to do here is massively externalize what's going on in people's minds and imaginations and what they're struggling with. So my first impression of it, and my lasting impression, will be Gavin's interpretation of this clearly wonderful book.
What about for you, Asa? Did you ever read it, or did you get the script and then go back to the book? How was it for you?
Yeah, I read it just after I got the script, and I'm a massive fan of science fiction, so it was right up my street, and I loved it as much as I loved the story. And for me, not just the character of Ender, but the whole world is so beautifully crafted in the novel that I wasn't sure how it could be brought to the screen, but Gavin has done it justice, and he's done it amazingly.
One thing I was going to ask you though, Gavin, is when you're adapting a book, when you're adapting a screenplay, like Sven says, it's a book about what's going on internally, and you're writing this, do you not think, hang on a minute, you can write this, but can you direct it? I'll just change that bit. This will be easier.
First of all, let me say thank you to my fantastic cast for their kind words, because you don't make a film on your own, and I'm hugely supported by their talents and the talents of people who are not here, great visual effects supervisors and so on. So it's a little embarrassing, but thank you so very much. And we had a fantastic time, as you can tell, and this wonderful family has, I hope, delivered something that all you fans will like. But yes, in terms of adapting the book to the screen, it is a very internal journey, but it also is a fantastic sort of spectacle. The battle room, which is just beautiful visually to create and think about the final simulation battle. They were challenging those environments because, you know, when you're sitting there in the book, if you read the book, you know that, I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but it is a black box room. And it reads brilliantly and all the battles brilliantly. And suddenly I'd taken on this job and I was all keen and I got there and went, oh boy, now I have to actually decide, well, what is it going to look like? If it's a black box, why am I up in space? So, you know, inspiration comes from crazy places, but I remember thinking, okay, well, it's a huge glass sphere, and I hope you guys will forgive me and embrace this, because here's the thinking. I'm in space, I need a huge glass sphere so that when you jump out, you really feel like you're in space. You look up and the sun's there, and the earth's down below, and I took this idea to Gigi and Bob, and I was enthusiastic for them, and they go, budget. How are we going to do this? But they immediately jumped on board, and we developed it with fantastic concept artists, wonderful production designers, Ben Proctor and Sean Harworth, and just built this thing up, and then took it out into the world as a 45-second teaser piece. That'll into the first thing we developed, and took it to Cannes, and, you know, it wasn't made with big studio money. The big studios, as you know, were, I don't know, afraid to make this film for many years, tried, gave up, and so we had to raise the money from places like England and France and Germany and all over the world. So
I've sold my house.
I beg your pardon?
I've sold my house.
So it was a great opportunity to get an international group of people. That's my cue to shut up.
He had such a lovely house.